Welcome to Independence Nation on the Light of Life Network. Today we will tackle the issue of American imperialism. And I saw some things in the news last week and had me wondering about this American imperialism that other countries often say that the United States are often basically a world bully. Demanding what they should do. We're also going to take a look at American exceptionalism and how this has played into the news here lately. So just to give a background into American imperialism for those viewing. Also, before I get started, I want you to know the group chat is open. Feel free to chat with us at any time. But yes, we're going to jump into this American imperialism. I'm going to give you a little background. Now, by definition, the American imperialism is the economic, military, and cultural influence of the United States on other countries. And the concept of an American empire was first popularized during the presidency of James K. Polk, who led the United States into the Mexican-American War of 1846 and the eventual annexation of California and other Western territories via the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo and the Gadsden Purchase. So what is the annexation of California? Let's talk about that a little bit. Now, this is a conquest of California, or also known as the conquest of Alta California. Alta California meaning just the present-day California here in the United States. And what happened was, or what occurred, were small battles to conquer California from 1846 to 1847. And basically taking over the territories of California from the Mexican peoples, and therefore being imperial over the Mexican people. Now, American exceptionalism, what does this have to do with it? Now, the exceptionalism is the United States occupying a special niche over other nations, and especially over other nations of the world. And so we have to ask ourselves, does the United States follow this American imperialism and American exceptionalism? For that, we're going to go now to a screenshot of an article concerning Evo Morales and his plane being taken down. Let's see here. Let's go to the screenshot. I'm not sure what happened there. Here we go. Evo Morales, the Bolivian president, it reads as this: Bolivian President Evo Morales has threatened measures against European countries in response to the grounding of his plane in Vienna last week, demanding they reveal the source of false information that Edward Snowden was on board. Now, if you recall, the president, U.S. President Barack Obama, declared that he wouldn't be chasing after no 20-some-year-old hacker, I believe he called it. Turns out he did. And they took down Evo Morales' plane and held him basically without warrant to do so. Now, if this type of thing occurred here in the States or occurred to our president, this would be a declaration of war. Now, let me read on further. Morales quotes, "We are expecting European countries that force me to land to explain what made them think I was transporting the fugitive U.S. citizen. Where did this information come from, and well, why are they breaking international laws? If we in South America are not given that explanation, we will have to take measures. I'm not sure what he means by measures there. This may be a declaration of war to Bolivia, as you will see in the news that Venezuela and Nicaragua joined in. As a result, they have given Snowden asylum in each of their countries. It reads further to say, at 3 or 4 p.m. we were forced to land a plane in Austria. At 6 p.m. the U.S. ambassador delivers an extradition request in Bolivia, which is proof that it is the work of the U.S. who used European countries for their aims. Now further, it says, my first thought when I was forced to land was, how can European countries obey the will of the U.S.? I imagine these nations were defenders of democracy, and that's, that's really the pain of the thing, is that we are supposed to be spreading democracy, yet we're exercising this American imperialism and bring this Bolivian president's plane down and hold him hostage. Reading further, I said to the airport officials, you can't search the president's plane. They said, we can't unless you invite us for a cup of coffee. Now, needless to say, he didn't invite them. Reading further, they wanted me to invite them for coffee. Recalled the still seizing Morales. He didn't invite him for coffee. They must have searched his plane anyway. Well, we have had enough humiliation at the hands of the Americans. I'm not scared of shutting the U.S. Embassy in Bolivia, he said. As a result, this, like I said, this may be a declaration for war. He may shut the U.S. Embassy in Bolivia. Others have called for the U.S. to reach out and to give aid as a result of what happened. It is a crime. Reading further, it is a crime not against Evo Morales, but against the people of South America and the Caribbean. It is utter discrimination, said Morales, who insisted no one should be treated as a second-rate president. I have to agree with that. He's the president of Bolivia. We can't just exercise this imperialism, bring his plane down, and do whatever we want to him. Let me go ahead and read further. The Europeans and Americans think that we are living in the era of empires and colonies. They're wrong. We are free people. They think that by intervening in our affairs, staging coups, installing neoliberals or military dictatorships, they can suck out our resources. But this is in the past. They can no longer do this. He goes on to say, they think that by blackmailing us, they think we will change our policies, but we will not, said the president, who believes the U.S. considers him an enemy because he is a Native American and an anti-imperialist. Therefore, that's what brought us to this topic today, basically stating this is American imperialism. To read the end of it, anyone can be wrong and anyone can make mistakes, but it is important that these are corrected. But if somebody provokes us again and again, like the U.S., we have the right to defend ourselves from insults. As I said, this could be a declaration for war. They feel insulted. Their president was held against his will. Once again, if this was done to our president, as this had been done to President Barack Obama, it would have been an all-out declaration for war. We would be at war right now. They would have sent military. They would have sent CIA, which is, because it was out of the country. But the thing about it is, we can't go around doing these types of things. We see the same type of thing playing out in Syria as we're trying to tell Syria who can be their president. And if we're not in agreement with our president, he doesn't play ball, well, we can send the CIA to shake hands with Al Qaeda and overturn Assad. I guess this is, I have to say, this is American imperialism at its worst. So, on a related note, President Barack Obama released a statement last week to Egypt saying that Mohammed Morsi of the Muslim Brotherhood should be placed back into power. Once again, our group chat is open. If you want to chat with us, go ahead. Shoot us a line. We will read it. Express your mind on this subject, if you will. We're not going to be with you long today because we have some other things to get to. But we have to wonder, what is our what are we doing? What is our country doing? Trying to declare people dictators on one hand here in Syria, and trying to overturn Assad, but take another dictator, Mohammed Morsi, and when he's ousted, declare that he needs to be back in power. Wow. I have to say, this is hypocritical. But yes, Barack Obama's boy, Mohammed Morsi, was ousted, and he said that he should be placed back in power.
I wanted to ask you, I've seen in the media some pictures of demonstrators not only protesting against President Morsi, or former President Morsi, I guess I should say, but also against U.S. President Obama, saying that President Obama allied himself with terrorists, with the Muslim Brotherhood, with a fascist regime, against the ambassador there, Ms. Patterson. I don't know how prevalent that is in the crowd, but how prevalent would you say it is that this anti-Morsi sentiment is also anti-Obama?
It's no secret that U.S. foreign policy is unpopular, not just here in Egypt, but throughout the region, throughout the Arab world. Egyptians love Americans, but they don't love U.S. foreign policy. They remember, they'll never forget that for decades it was Washington that supported the dictator Hosni Mubarak and his brutal police state. They believed Washington had never been out for the people. Then came President Mohammed Morsi, the Islamist president. Washington supported him, and that's why you're seeing many in this crowd criticizing Washington for that support. Earlier today, the leaders of the campaign, this rebel campaign with this petition drive, with a harsh statement aimed at Washington, suggesting that Washington should stay out of Egypt's affairs, accusing Washington of trying to impose its will on Egypt for the interests of Israel. Some harsh words, and it's a glimpse of how complicated Washington has it when it comes to Egypt and this region.
This is his guy. Mohammed Morsi is his guy, and he is a dictator. Unfortunately, our great country has slipped into this imperialistic and exceptionalism type of society. So this is Keith Pitts reporting for Independence Nation. Hey, get sustainable, and I'll see you next time here on Independence Nation.